was putting together Thanksgiving and came across it, and I went, that's why it was in your program last week, so now you know the tune, and you can kind of sing it to yourself. I just think it's an amazing song. Thank you so much. Well, as you know, we're talking about gratitude today, because just like what Margaret was talking about, sometimes we forget you can be grateful for the smallest things. Grateful that somebody on the freeway with you had stopped dead and is talking to you. Grateful for the next door neighbor who comes by and says hello. So many small things that we're waiting for the big things to be grateful for. We're waiting for the new job, or we're waiting to buy a new car or something. But gratitude starts out very small. So think about that. What do you have to be grateful for? Yes, Smitty.
During the meditation, I got very clear. I'm very grateful for a lot of the things I don't have. I don't have a sense of poverty. I don't have broken bones. There's a lot of stuff I don't have. I'm real grateful for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the reason I passed out those sheets of paper, for all of you who don't have a program, please raise your hand so you can get one. Or if you don't have a pen, we'll get you one, okay? Kathleen and Donna, so that you can write down the things that you're grateful for. Okay, we'd like for you to do that while I'm talking to you, because we want you to realize, just exactly like Smitty says, just be thankful that there are things you don't have to complain about. After the fire, did you realize you appreciated your home a lot more?
Yeah.
When you're reading about other people losing their homes, or whether it's fire or flood. When you read about people getting shot somewhere, you realize I'm not going to complain about my son saying something I don't like. I have my son. Think of the things that we complain about, and we stop when we hear about some tragedy that has taken that away from other people. Be grateful for the small things that you have, and the big things also. I hear people complaining about their wardrobe. I hear them complaining about their neighbors. I hear them complaining about their health. I hear them complaining about the things that, I had one lady that I've told the story many times before because it was so crazy. She came in to see me and said she was going to kill herself, and she was just so distraught. And finally, when she stopped crying, I asked her, what was wrong? Why was she so upset? And she said, you see this hairdo? You see what they did to me? They butchered me, and I'm giving a speech today. I can't go over there and give this speech with this haircut. I'm just not going to live anymore. Well, you stop a minute, and I said, okay, I understand how upset you are. Have you ever thought of wearing a hat? And she looked at me like I'd asked her to, do some horrible thing, like swing the Ganges or something. And she said, what? I said, I wear hats, and people usually remark, oh, you look good in a hat. And she went from being hysterical to, maybe I'll look at hats. Nordstrom has hats, I'll go look at hats. She was a part of a very socialized, not socialized, but social situation that she was going to go speak, social light, thank you, that she was going to go talk to, and Atherton, and she was afraid that they were going to have judgment on her.
Oh, yes, they would.
And so the next time I saw her, I said, how'd you do? She said, you won't believe it. I walked in with my new hat, and the last time I went, everybody was wearing it.
Yay!
I said, yeah, sometimes what you think of as the worst thing that could happen to you becomes your brand, as it were. And that was one of those things that I thought, why am I judging her? It was really, really difficult for her to look in the mirror and see this haircut. And I think about that in gratitude in so many other ways, because we have ungrateful thoughts about other people. And that's what she was afraid of, was those ungrateful thoughts that were going to be coming towards her. And how many times do you see somebody and you think of an ungrateful thought? You watch a woman in the store with her children and you don't like the way they're handling them. Have you ever done that? She shouldn't be doing that. Well, you're sending an ungrateful thought out. And who knows, she might have just heard, she had been diagnosed with cancer or just heard some horrible thing and is reacting to it. But our judgment heaps on them more negativity. So when you think of a very ungrateful thought, stop yourself and say, wait a minute, I don't have to do that. So when we think about gratitude, be grateful for our beautiful weather. We have rain, now we have sun, both of which came at a time when we were feeling pretty depressed because it looked like Mother Nature was against us. And now we've got all these beautiful things coming up. So start honoring them and feeling grateful for what's going on. And what I want you now to do is one of those things. Being grateful for waking up this morning. When you think of a lot of people who don't, who are limited in what they're doing. And I want you to stand up, and with about 5 people, you can make it more. Either give them a hug or shake their hand and say, I'm grateful to see you. Can you do that? Come on, let's all stand up. Put your hand out, shake somebody's hand, or give them a hug and say, I'm grateful to see
Here's my 5th one. I'm done. So grateful for you. Thank you. I'm grateful for you teaching me the right way to say, and let it shine. So grateful.
I'm a sunshine guy, I'll take it.
Very grateful.
So they wouldn't need to
Yeah. I'll respect that.
love just virtual. My
If you could please all be seated.
Thank you.
Okay, grateful folks.
Thank
Okay, grateful people, it's time to sit down now. I know, I'll never get them back, but I wanted them.
Way more than 5 people.
Some people felt like they had to hug everybody here, I know. Please be seated. Okay, I'm gonna, if everybody could please be seated. If you don't sit down, I'm gonna call you by name. Laura, if you could please be seated. Anna, please be seated. I'm just gonna call people by name if they don't be seated.
Yeah, over there.
Thank you so very much. Because I want to ask you a question. Which felt best, giving the hug or receiving?
Both.
Isn't that amazing how gratitude works?
No.
It's not just about one thing, it's about both. It's both the giving and the receiving. And so when you think about that, you get at the same time that you give. And so as we talk more about that power of gratitude, realize that people who kept a gratitude journal, I don't know how many of you have a journal that you write in. Start writing things that you're grateful for. You'll find if you start with a gratitude journal that if you're going to want to stop drinking so much coffee, or if you're going to want to stop drinking, or if you're going to start going to the gym more, start putting that in a journal. And be thankful for the time you have to do those types of things. Because you're going to find that things start getting better for you. Because developing an attitude of gratitude is about becoming aware of what you are grateful for. You can wake up in the morning and be grateful that you can breathe deeply. For any of you who've ever had lung problems, and you wake up one morning and you take a nice deep breath, just say, thank you, God. This is wonderful. If you wake up in the morning and you can get up quickly and go to the bathroom, thank you, bladder, for working. Whatever it is, start saying thank you to your body. Thank you. And then, as you do all this, just start listing things you have to be grateful for. And that's what we did. We've got a piece of paper for you to write down things that you are grateful for. When I think of that, there are things that I just take for granted. How many of you do that?
Well, that the water's gonna come on when you're,
Well, yeah, have you ever, we live in a mobile home park, and some mornings I wake up and there's no water. I depend on water in the morning. I've got a shower I have to give, or God bless the world. How many of you is a shower something that when you're standing there in the warm water, being very grateful that you've got warm water?
Yeah.
And think of those things. The lights are on, we have electricity. People got a little warm in here, running around hugging each other. But how wonderful that you're in a place that there's warmth.
And I think about the immigrants and, people that are away, that may never, don't have a home to go back to. And, about people, what do they do when they get sick? What do they do when they, all kinds of things happen when you just don't have the supplies or what happens when you're hungry, when you're thirsty?
Sometimes that sense of helplessness takes over. And when you feel totally helpless, it's hard to find anything to feel grateful for. But try doing that. Just, if you feel like life is no good, buy a hat. I'm just teasing. Remember the lady who wanted to commit suicide until she got a hat? And Mel's waving his cap at us.
That's my hairpiece.
Or how many of you take a gratitude walk? Isn't it amazing when the sun's shining and you take a walk? And even the leaves in the trees seem to be twinkling. And if you have a dog you're walking, The dog is hysterically happy. I love
5:30 in
it.
the morning.
What time is it?
5:30 in the morning is my gratitude walk.
Gratitude walk at 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
But don't you wish sometime that you could wiggle all over like a dog does when it's happy? You
Yeah.
know, it starts at the tip of his tail and it goes all the way, and you go, that is one grateful animal. And it might just be you patting it or giving it something to eat or taking it out for a walk. Yes, Kathleen?
Well, I was watching on Gaia TV, and they were talking about, you know, if you're feeling a little bit down, you know, just kind of go out into the sun. We're so connected to the sun, and it made me think about something new in that they're saying, you know, there's vitamin D, of course, but there's so many other cofactors we're getting from the sun that they haven't even discovered yet. So I thought,
Right.
well, I hadn't really thought about that. You know, you only think about vitamin D, you know, and gratitude for like what that's giving us. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
maybe even more.
Ruth?
Well, the sun top, I gotta say, when it was raining the other day, I'm preparing for the big old Thanksgiving thing, that was on Saturday or whatever, and I just had to go out for a walk to like clear myself, cause I was getting crabby, and that affects the food that you're preparing, right? And I went walking in the rain, and there's this one redwood tree in our neighborhood that smells divine when it's wet.
Right.
It's like, oh, you smell like home, it is the most amazing, and it,
Yeah, we need to.
yeah, you know, it's like singing in the rain, right?
Right,
So,
right.
it's awesome.
So just think of, and so you can walk, you can talk about being grateful, you can write about being grateful, you can take a walk and feel grateful for it. And other things that you can do is that just keep saying to yourself, thank you, God, I am grateful for what I have, instead of I want this. The United States Post Office every year receives all these letters from thousands of kids around the world asking Santa for gifts. And one year, they had opened them all, and they had 25,000 letters, wherever these were mailed, I don't know, and one thanking Santa. And that was just recently. And that's kind of like where our world has gotten, where our country's gotten. We want it given to us, but we're not being thankful. So realize you can stop that by being thankful and with everything. And it's real easy to just say thank you. How many times does somebody pull out in front of you on the freeway and you realize it's because they're really trying to get somewhere fast? And have you ever just said, thank you for driving safely? Okay? It's real easy. Yes, Smitty?
I always figure they're on the way to the bathroom.
You think, okay? And so just start looking at affirming for all of those positive things, all those things to be grateful for. And now we've got a list. And Judy, if you could come up and write down some of the things people are
Yeah, right there on the chair.
I didn't know I was gonna do this until Judy walked in, and I know that she's got great penmanship.
Now the pressure's on.
So, okay, can you all see the board, the whiteboard? Okay, now let's have somebody, Norma, what are you grateful for?
So much. My daughters.
Your daughters. Shall we say daughters or just kids? Either way. Children. Yeah. Margaret?
I am grateful to the people who grow and prepare and package and get it all to the grocery store, all the food that I eat. Every time I eat something,
Right.
I don't have a place I can grow food anymore, and so I'm very aware of the amount of labor that has gone into getting that apple to the grocery store.
That is wonderful. Eileen? And you notice I'm calling Eileen. Nobody raised their hands.
I'm grateful for the people who hurt me, because they taught me that I have the ability to choose, and that I don't have to take that onto myself.
Yep.
And that God always loves me.
How fun. Great. I don't know what she's writing over there on that one. Jen, what are you grateful for?
I'm thankful for the ability to feel thankful.
Good, good. Smitty?
Oh boy, where do I start? I'm just grateful to be here.
Okay, be here, now. Yeah.
Well, Couple of times I wasn't.
Yep, that's true. Minnie has wonderful stories of out of body. Okay. Joan?
I have a new bathroom
Wow.
with wonderful workers at a reasonable price.
Yay.
And then the price, everyone told me was unbelievably low, that what I wanted to pay. But I'm getting really good work and a beautiful new bathroom for a price I wanted.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful for my wonderful workers.
Fantastic. Kim?
I'm grateful for having all that I need.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
April?
I'm grateful for my spiritual community.
Corky?
Oh, for having this wonderful community, this family of friends and, yeah, friends. I was gonna say friends and foes, but there aren't any foes in here, so I'll just have to go with friends.
I thought it was gonna be me.
You're right here.
Oh, wrong one.
You're at the top of the list.
April, you already
I
answered
did
it. Yeah. Amina?
Out of 3 to the spiritual community, and 2 best friends.
Great. Judy?
Oh, I thought I was just writing.
Grateful you can write.
Yeah, I'm grateful I can write. I am grateful for possibilities.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am grateful for all that can be.
wonderful.
Nice.
Okay. Deanna?
The angelic messages I get and the stabilization of my cat's health.
Good. Wait just a minute for that.
Say that, I'm sorry, say that one more time. Your angel readings?
Angelic messages, especially regarding the stabilization of my cat's health.
Okay, and Clyde?
When I was doing grocery shopping, I kind of ran out, because of my own fault, I ran out of groceries at home, so I was a little bit tight on the groceries. And I got up to this one item and I said, I am so thankful that I have enough money left over that I can buy some toilet paper.
So we are grateful for toilet paper.
Aren't we all?
Thank you, I think that's what they're really about.
That would have been one of the first things. I
I'm
thought.
grateful for life itself. I had a life-changing surgery on July 10th,
Oh.
and I'm happy to be alive.
Oh, we're
Blessed
happy you were
be.
here. For those of you who don't know, Pamela and Lonnie are sitting right here, and Ruth in the back row in the orange jacket. And these are new people to church this morning, so I want to thank you so much for coming.
Lonnie is a longtime UCM
Minister,
minister.
yes. Lonnie, do you have, what are you grateful for?
Well, there's something I always forget to be grateful for, and I just thought of it today, and that's me.
And Laura, did you get a chance to go
I'm grateful for the
see?
rain that came and helped the fires.
And did you go see Anna yesterday?
Mama?
The rain, the rain.
No, I know what you said, but yesterday, didn't you go see, what's her name?
Amma? Did you see Amma yet? while she's
In Oakland, you know, I couldn't because she did it in
Thanksgiving.
in a different venue,
Oh, okay.
and we were tied down, so no, I, did you
I
go?
Yeah, it was
Oakland?
lovely.
Okay, well, thank you, we'll want to hear about that, that's great. Okay, Sonica, what are you thankful for?
I'm grateful for the opportunity to turn my entire perception of life around.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Andrew?
You know what, it's not up there, and I'm happy for my healthy body.
Yeah.
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 Cheryl?
I'm happy for Spirit's support, that I never feel alone.
Oh, that's great. And Laura?
I'm grateful for the teachers I've had in my life.
Wonderful. And Kathleen?
I'll say healers. Grateful for those who put their energy into healing.
And Ruth?
I can't remember his name.
Paul.
Oh, so sweet. I have terrible names. Because, and I guess you could also see it for the community, because with his asking about the shoes, in the religion I grew up in, you would have to go and talk to the bishop would ask you questions, and it would kind of turn into this worthiness interview, and all of this was just done without judgment. No, well, how are your finances, what are you doing, none of this other stuff that would go along with it in the religion that I grew up with. It was just, oh crap, you need shoes? We'll just get you shoes. And there was no question, no judgment, and I was just like, that's amazing. It wouldn't happen exactly like.
Wow.
Good. Thank you.
So
Community.
community.
She puts theirs.
Community that's just stepped up without judgment.
Yeah, no judgment, that's wonderful.
Ability to ask without judgment.
Yeah, non-judgment, within the community, you know, just giving.
Okay, David, what are you grateful
Well,
for?
this community teaches people to love without reservation. You just love with your whole self. And here it's easy.
Oh, good.
And you walk out of here and you're like, don't realize it, you're like armed for the world with that love. You know, everything bounces off of you then. And it's like,
Thank you.
and since I've been here, my life has been much, much, much happier.
Thank you so much, David. And do you realize David and Paul get here sometimes as soon as 8 o'clock in the morning and make the coffee and set up the chairs? That's good enough.
Yeah.
And that David brings the bus from Gilroy to get here. So what time do you get up in the morning, on Sunday morning?
I'm up at 3.
To catch the bus?
God, I'm sleeping at
And
3.
walk the shower and
I'm just
I'm up. It's before I get ready.
I know. I can't.
Grateful walks, right?
I like to walk in the morning, so it's perfect for me.
Well, one of the people mentioned, we think you two need a CCL cheer, and it goes like this.
Ooh! Ah! Oh! Yes! Yay!
Okay, Paul, what are you grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful, like, I'm grateful for my husband David, and I'm grateful for this community at large. And I don't usually, because of the community at large, I know I can show my emotions without being embarrassed.
Good.
So I've learned that I'm not judged by my emotions, and I won't be. So I'm very grateful for that.
Wonderful.
And one more thing I'm grateful for is this community has brought Paul out of his shell. He's painfully shy, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but he's singing in the choir,
Yeah.
he's talking to people.
Yeah.
That's
And it's like, it's
Remember when he first came here? Yeah.
That's wonderful.
He has
Okay,
blossomed.
Carol. Carol, thank you so much for setting up the food this
Thank
morning.
you, thank you.
I'm grateful for friends and great grief support. Janet had a really wonderful seminar. And then the other thing I really have to mention is I consider California weather beautiful 365 days a year because I come from North Dakota where it's like good weather 2 days a year. So any day is a good day in California.
And those 2 days are not necessarily in the same year.
Maria, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my grandson Nicholas.
Oh,
Mhm.
He's such a cutie. And Chris, what are you grateful for?
I don't have much of a voice, but I'm really grateful
Chill Quirky and Chill Silly?
for the music realm.
For the music? She's grateful for the music realm.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And Mel, did you tell us what you're grateful for?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I have on here is the CCL community.
Thank you.
All right.
And Sean?
Chocolate.
No apology today.
And,
It had to be said.
spiritual stuff,
Okay.
yeah. And Donna, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to have an open heart.
You know what I'm grateful for?
What, Dottie?
For 80 years old to be able to name you all by your name.
We did halfway through.
Even though Ruth I call Judy, and Judy I call any name under the sun most times, and Sean
call me Hey You.
has been called so many different names, he's beginning to question who he really is. So, Judy, well done. Thank you so much, and I want you all to look at that. Thank you, Judy. We're gonna keep it up all week, and so that people will know what things they can be thankful for. Sometimes you forget. You forget what you can be thankful for.
Oh, yes.
And now I'm very thankful for the next person who's going to come up here. And this gentleman, whatever I call him, is a gifted musician and songwriter. And we have all these little toys up here. And there's one that's broken. And yet it's still there. It's still a part of the group. And it's called a misfit toy. It doesn't quite fit. And we're all in this group are misfit toys in some way or another. There's something in our life where we didn't fit in. And Sean's gonna sing us a song about that.
Yay! Another song we love.
In case you haven't heard it yet this year.
Disconnected and a little disrespected. You don't fit right in. Come with me, you're not alone. There are things you've not been shown, a different point of view. To give the world, they're inside every boy and girl, but some of you don't know. Tune them in and stop expressing. Walk with pride and share your blessing. You're doing the right thing. Metropolis, I sense it, a lesson. We're gonna be progressing to attain a higher order, existing without borders. I say this cause I'm different than normal and informal, and we're not in isolation, rails bending at the station. What's the special gift that you got? You don't use a whole lot, is it sitting there and waiting like a crowd anticipating, watching NASA launching rockets? Swirling sockets, the holes go in our pockets like the memories things in our life. Try to get to what we were, what we is, what we was. Excavating and spelunking, getting funky. Gotta culminate the history, swing it to the present. It's a gift I gotta give, and not be hesitant. I can't do it solo. Gotta put it in the color. Who'll get wired when I'm tired? Then keep this baby fired. There's a unit of collection, extensible introspection. I struggle with the plectrum. I hit the inner spectrum. Alone we're isolated, but together we're the force of an identity, an entity, a common thread that's meant to be discovering, recovering, spirit that is suffering, instigator, regulator, hooked and then defibrillator, supercharged, living large, part of the community, accepting that our differences create a tighter unity. We're poets, musicians, we're nurses and physicians. Some are gay, some are not, but we're giving what we got. We don't judge you by your color, religion, or your race. We accept you if you're broken, and we're fearlessly outspoken. What's inside is our pride, and it's something we won't hide. We believe that imperfection is the gate to introspection. Raise the moon, we have room on the island of misfit toys. Find your kind, it's divine on the island of misfit toys. Give a lift, share your gift on the island of misfit toys. The island of misfit toys. The island of misfit toys. The island of misfit toys.
Take a breath.
You talk faster than I can listen. I
know.
That song. And I know I have the words somewhere, but when you read the words, it's even like, whoa. In there, you describe every one of us. It's incredible. When did you write that?
Oh, wow. 2000, I'm gonna say 7 or 8. Yeah.
10 years
Somewhere
old.
in there. It actually, it was inspired by a conversation by my friend Darwin, who I haven't seen in years and years. And we were talking one day about, it was actually written about San Francisco, truth be told. We were having a conversation about the gay community in San Francisco, and I was like, oh, gosh. And blam, that song popped out.
Oh, that is amazing. How many of you write music or write songs in here? Isn't that incredible to have all those words in so short time? And Margaret, in writing hers, it was so wonderful. We have so much talent here. And please, if any of you want to be a part of the service any Sunday, if you want to come up and give a talk, we like to hear what you want to talk about. If you want to sing a song, if you want to share a story, please do. That's how we get to know who you are. And we know that you're the most important person in the world. We just want you to believe it and be grateful that that's who you are. And now, we're going to introduce one more time our wonderful associate pastor. And because we're going to do the passing of the baskets.
The basket.
And she's going to, the choir usually helps with this, so if each person would take your donation and put it between 2 hands. And just give it a blessing.
You know, it's always so wonderful when we can get together and speak the words. Giving to the ministry, from which we receive our spiritual support and nurturing, is an affirmation and consciousness of the truth that spirit is the prospering power, enriching every area of our lives. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly.